Hey everyone, it's Kate Boyd again, and I am excited to be with you here for video number 2 in our Crush It at Competition video series. So we talked about part 1, which is routine mastery last time, and today we're talking about part 2, and that is mental toughness. So what does it mean to be mentally tough? Well, that means that your team is at their highest capacity mentally to perform at their best and are able to be confident and overcome little obstacles, whether they happen before, during, or after your routine. That also means that they're able to separate their self-worth from their performance on the mat. And so all of that is super important so that they walk into practice, they walk into competition, and they step up on the mat to be their most confident and highest performing self. So mental toughness is big. Why does this matter? Because your team needs to be confident together. This affects that showmanship score that we talked about in our last video. They need to be confident because it shows. When they are scared or when they're struggling, you can see it on their faces, and that doesn't help your score at competition or your execution or the safety of your athletes, frankly. They also need to work together well because you don't need a team of individuals. You need a team of unified, cohesive athletes. And so helping to focus on mental toughness, not just on the individual level, but on the team level, will also help them build up into working as a team unit and performing better at competition. And they also need to be able to move on if any obstacles or changes or quick edits or anything else like that comes up along the way. Because we've all seen the girl who gets injured a week before, or in warm-ups and you have to change things around or do stuff that you weren't expecting to have to do. And all of that comes with mental toughness. One little thing doesn't, completely throw off their game because they are prepared to do it. So that's one thing to really consider too. And also just raise healthy individual people on your team. That's really the point, right? We're not just creating athletes, we're building people up. And so we want to make sure that we are putting our best foot forward and helping our athletes not just be the best performers, but the best people they can be. So being able to remove that self-worth element from their performance will be crucial. Okay, so what do you need to focus on when it comes to mental toughness? Well, I see it as 3 sort of main core aspects. The first is team. As a team, you need to focus on team building and fostering good relationships within your team members. So this can show up as continued team building exercises, really working on switching some of that terminology from I to we and helping them be constructive and helpful in the way that they communicate with one another. So that is something to focus on. Second, you need to focus on individual performance for their own individual performance and for their performance with the team. So that just means that when it comes to actual cheerleading, they need to have the mental toughness individually and with the team in order to perform at their highest capacity. And that looks like things like not getting tripped up with little changes or not getting super frustrated or, not feeling over their heads or unconfident when they step on the floor. That's really what you look for when you're trying to nurture an individual athlete mentality. But you also need to focus on personal mindset outside of cheerleading, because a lot of times what trips us up mentally isn't what happens in practice, it's what's happening outside. So giving them tools to sort of remove from that, or to not let those things, whether it's, fights with friends or lots of homework, all of those things that could be stressful to them, giving them appropriate ways to deal with that so that they can then remove themselves and feel come in and be able to focus and perform in practice, and also again removing their responsibility and self-worth from that performance aspect. So keeping that all together and building them up, not just as athletes with a good mentality, but as people with a good mentality, and able to not let personal things get in the way with other things that they're doing, whether that's in their personal life or in your practice. So if you focus on these three areas, so the team building, the individual athlete mentality, and the personal mindset mentality, then you will have a team that is fit to compete anywhere and that can crush it at competition because they believe they can and they can work together to make it happen. So that's why mental toughness is so important. And tomorrow we are going to talk about fitness. Physical fitness, that's the final piece of the Crush It at Competition series, is that you need physical fitness and physical stamina to make it through your routine. So stay tuned because that video is coming in just a few days for you.